Hey, I'm Brandon Runyons with Pulaski Technical College here in North Little Rock, Arkansas. We're here for Quality Control Inspector Interpreting Infrared. Our objectives for this lesson is we want everybody to be able to explain the benefits and limitations of infrared thermography, interpret infrared images as they relate to weatherization opportunities, demonstrate how to assess the quality of weatherization installation using IR images, and utilize infrared imaging in conjunction with a blower door to help track our air infiltration and guide air sealing activities. Just some common myths we get with infrared. Infrared's not X-ray. It can't see through anything. It cannot see color, and it cannot see air. It only sees surface temperatures. Our cold spots are normally shown as darker colors, as we have in the left-hand portion of this picture. We'll see the darker color there. Also, the window on the door, we see it as a darker color. And then your warmer colors are shown as the light colors. Everything around the door here, you'll see our wall, nicely insulated wall. Okay, the darker portion here on the nicely insulated wall is where they loose filled that bay and the insulation settled down, so we're seeing the void of insulation there and the cold air where it's making its way through the wall. So we'll see the window there highlighted in dark green, and then the insulation void highlighted there with the pea green. These little colored slides like this, you can add these colors in on your picture. It's a pretty handy little sales tool if you're trying to point out to a client walls need to be insulated. If you're able to show them this missing insulation, pretty handy little sales tool. All right, right here we've got a upstairs knee wall. You'll notice that the bedpost here is lighter than the exterior wall. That's because the bedpost is the same temperature as the air in the room, where the exterior wall is not, because it's got the cold air from outside moving into it. I know it's cold air because it tells me right down here my coldest temperature is 49, my highest temperature is 61. So if the hottest object in the room is 61 degrees, pretty good inclination that it's cold outside, plus it's November. The darker bays back there, I'll draw a line here for you so you can see the top where the insulation stops. And then right over here, it's where the insulation stops. They didn't carry it all the way to the top plate of the knee wall. So we'll take those off and highlight these in red, just so you're seeing the dark areas there highlighted. This picture shows an end wall, and you'll see the slope ceiling there to the left. The drywall was installed over the original lath and plaster ceiling, so you're seeing this streaking that's happening between the sheets of drywall and then the lath and plaster. That's what that streaking is there. And then same thing here again, we've got some insulation here that was actually, looks like it was never installed, never carried all the way to the top plate. And then these little pieces here to the sides are the same thing, insulation they never carried all the way to the top plate. So we'll take these lines off. All right, move our red in, showing our missing insulation, and then our pea green, showing you where insulation was improperly installed. And then our streaks, y'all can't see my finger on the screen, can you? Our streaks here where the air is coming between the sheetrock and the lath and plaster. All right, right here we've got a slope ceiling and a knee wall with a window below it. So here is our window right there, the top portions of the window anyway. And we'll highlight those. They're in green. That's our windows. And then this is a post and beam timber frame house. The dark lines on the main roof are your support timbers. So we've got one here, got one here. Okay, what this is poorly blown in cellulose in the attic. We lose our yellow lines. This is poorly blown in cellulose, so you're seeing the cold air through conduction coming straight through these studs. Studs get cold, and the slant wall conducts straight through to the sheetrock. And then the little blue outline over here, you'll see the wall that was insulated properly. You notice we cannot hardly see this stud right here. But we do have an insulation void right above this wall. All right, here we've got some outside air cooling a ceiling. That's what's going on right here. And it's coming, this is our coldest spot right down here. So that's where the air is actually hitting, and then it's cooling the sheetrock out from that direction. See here, we've got some blue lines to highlight those cooling areas. The bigger the dark spot is, the more intense that air leak is. So we'll notice right here, the center one is bigger than the ones here on the sides. So here's our two side leaks. So this one right here is a lot bigger culprit than these two side ones are. Here's some wind-driven infiltration. It's actually coming through the soffit vents and hitting this top plate. You'll see how dark that top plate is, how cold it is, and then the air cooling down our sheetrock. We've got a big spot over there. This is outside air blowing over the ceiling from our soffits. Easiest way to fix this would be install some eaves there or some chutes there at the end of the house to bring that air up to the roof decking so that it's not hitting our sheetrock there. Here we've got some drop soffit or a fur down, whichever you prefer to call it. The picture on the left is the infrared picture without the blower door running. You notice here on the exterior wall, we can see our studs, we can see our top plates, we can see the studs in the drop soffit, we can see the top of the cabinets. Then you notice we have a little bit of infiltration right here. But whenever we run the blower door and to take an infrared picture, we can see that it's pulling that cold air into the soffits, each one of these bays. So we know that the top of that soffit's not air sealed. So we've got a break in our envelope there, messing with our thermal barrier and our air barrier alignment. This is something we want to make sure we get on top of this drop soffit, air seal it up, so that we don't have this infiltration coming into this drop soffit. Had a little glitch there. This is what we call matchstick down here. It's typical tongue and groove pine paneled walls. We notice here on this picture at the edge of every single board we've got infiltration. Every single board's got infiltration on it. And then also I want you to look at here on the door. See how dark it is here around the door? Do we think that weather stripping is working very well? Probably not, having that much infiltration around the door. From the picture, it looks like the door is actually an in-swing. So got a lot of infiltration coming around that door. This is actually a summertime picture. We notice this picture is reversed from all the other pictures we've seen so far. Hottest temperature is 111, and we are August 1st, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Nice warm day, especially for us here. This right here for us here in Arkansas, this temperature probably closer to around 140, 150. But you'll see the infiltration here around the light, can light. We can see the streaking on it. And then also here at our top plate, all of our streaking coming in from the attic. This is going to be fixed the same way we fixed our cold air coming in earlier. This is going to be installing chutes there at our soffits to bring that air up off of that top plate. Keep it at the roof decking so it comes to our high vents. Keep it off of that top plate so it's not transferring through our sheetrock like this. This is a bathroom fan with a light in it. We notice how hot the temperature is. Same thing again. August 1st, midday, how hot the temperature is. Chances are this is not outside air. This is attic air. It tells me this picture's in Maine. Y'all don't see temperatures in Maine like we do down here in Arkansas. This could very likely be outside air for us. But this is attic air coming in through this fan because the fan's not properly sealed. It's not a damper issue with the fan. It's not a failed damper. It's a failed install. But this is a pretty easy fix, air sealing the fan. All right, so summary for this section. Infrared images see surface temperatures only. Okay, it's not seeing color, it's not seeing air movement, and it's not seeing through objects. It's just seeing how that air is affecting the surface temperature of that object. Interpreting infrared requires putting images into context. What's on the other side of the surface being inspected? Be careful not to jump to conclusions. Don't make any assumptions with infrared pictures. I've taken pictures before and seen hot spots, and it ended up being a reflection of my arm. So it's pay attention to what you're taking pictures of and interpret them correctly. Like I said, infrared cannot see through anything. It's not X-ray. Images are easiest to interpret when there is a large temperature difference, but it always requires a trained technician to interpret it accurately. And chances are you won't have two experts look at the same picture and get the same assumption. You've always got to know what's going on behind that picture. In conjunction with the blower door, infrared imaging is a powerful tool for diagnosing infiltration. It also really helps you target your air sealing activities. Using an infrared with a blower door is a superior tool, way better than the 2R alone. So that's infrared thermography and interpreting infrared. Thank you very much.